On May 22, 2011, Andrew and Danielle Stammer were driving to a friend's home with their 2 children when they heard tornado sirens.
Heard that there was a tornado possibility, just a warning coming through the north side, the top of Joplin, where we were heading.
The couple soon heard that a second storm cell was heading for the middle of Joplin. They decided to take shelter at the hospital where Andrew was employed. Unaware of how imminent the danger, they first stopped by their home for personal belongings.
I was wanting to make sure that we had our essential things, like their passports and birth certificates.
There was really no fear at all. Every other storm that came would circle Joplin. It would either run to the north or to the south. We had no idea that what was happening right then.
As they began their drive to St. John's Hospital, they realized how quickly the storm was approaching.
I didn't see anybody outside, and it was just like there was a quiet, but then we could see a wall of black in front of us.
There was no wind. Everything was still, everything was quiet, but everything was charged. The field was charged. And then we saw this, out of the black sky, this shoot of light going straight up. And they call them power surges, I think. That's one of the indicators that a tornado is on the ground. And I prayed out loud, Lord, please protect our family. I thought we are in over our heads here.
The family made it to the entryway of St. John's Hospital with mere minutes to spare. Danielle grabbed 1-year-old Ethan and ran inside.
I walked into the glass entryway, turned around, and the wind was so strong that Andrew was having a hard time getting into the building where we were. He was hunched over with Emily, our at that time 3-year-old, against his chest, bared down, step at a time, just to try to get into where we were.
When Andrew made it inside, they realized the hospital was on lockdown, and they were unable to get past the entryway.
Basically, I was thinking, I just need to get my family to safety, and this is not safe. I just had Emily in my left hand, and I just started slamming myself against it. And after about 6 or 7 times, the door broke off the bottom track.
The couple slipped underneath the cracked door just seconds before an F-5 tornado, one of the deadliest in U.S. history, slammed directly into the hospital.
As soon as I slipped under that door, no sooner had I gotten right past it, all the lights went out, and I was immediately thrown down on the floor with my son underneath me. This whole hospital is being torn to shreds around me.
The family was separated in an instant.
I mean, as soon as I walked in, the lights went out. I had no idea what happened to them.
I was picked up off my feet, went about 10 or 15 feet across the floor, and got slammed into that door. And all the while I was still holding Emily, and then next thing I knew, I was on the bottom stair of the outside staircase with my daughter underneath me. I was holding her right here, and I was holding the railing.
In the midst of the raging storm, the couple cried out to God.
I was just crying out, God save us. God save us, Lord, please help.
And with my baby nestled under me, I was just singing worship songs, whatever came to mind, and I felt so peaceful, and I felt like I could almost touch peace, and that if I had lifted my eyes, I would have seen glory. And I thought, okay, this is how my story ends. I never knew what it was going to be. As I was singing, I thought, you know what? I think they'll find him and he'll be okay.
St. John's Hospital was severely mangled by the storm. Upper stories completely destroyed. Cars in the hospital parking lot were tossed and disfigured beyond recognition.
When I could not find my wife and son, I was very nervous, and I just wanted to be back with her. And so I just went back into the hospital. The door was already open, and I don't know if I called out for her or if she called out for me.
But Andrew and Danielle Stammer's prayers were answered. They successfully held their children in their arms, and the family walked away with only minor cuts and bruises.
We finally got back together, and it was, I think I remember hugging her, and it was very short-lived, our reunion.
After their reunion, the couple had to quickly face the reality of the storm and its widespread destruction.
It just looked like a totally different landscape. There's no houses. There's trees that are not there anymore, and far as the eye could see.
They say that while prayer offered them supernatural protection during the storm, it also brought comfort in the aftermath.
And it was interesting because both of us had the same reactions to it all, replaying what could have happened, and both of us fought against it and proclaimed truth a winner. Neither of us had nightmares about the tornado after that at all.
Though the family lost their home, their cars, and all of their belongings that day, they say they are still thankful for the blessings they have and the help they received from others.
His provision through his people was so beautiful. People came to our house to help us, people who we didn't know were doing our laundry. People were just everywhere, lining the streets, doing what they could to help. And I thought, okay, I'm taking notes, because when someone else is suffering, I want to do these kind of things.
Danielle wrote about the miraculous survival in her book, Singing Over Me. They hope the book will show others how prayer brought them protection, comfort, and the strength to carry on despite the tornado.
In the midst of Him saving us, He has given us this gift of this story that we have, this story of triumph through tragedy and survival in the midst of horrendous circumstances. The hope that I have for the future, the hope that I have for now, is so much greater.
I definitely saw that He is near me, whether I live or whether I don't live. I know that God heard us. I definitely believe that prayer changes the world.